North Korea tests its greatest intercontinental ballistic missile, while the White House opposes a resumption to long-range launches. Seoul, South Korea, March 24. Reuters. According to South Korean and Japanese officials, North Korea performed its greatest intercontinental ballistic missile launch yet on Thursday, ending a self-imposed moratorium on long-range testing and eliciting worldwide condemnation. It would be Pyongyang's first full-capability launch of its largest missiles since 2017, and it would mark a significant step forward in Pyongyang's development of weapons capable of delivering nuclear warheads anywhere in the United States. North Korea's return to large nuclear tests also gives U.S. President Joe Biden a new national security burden as he responds to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and it provides a challenge to South Korea's next conservative administration. The missile flew higher and longer than any of North Korea's prior tests before crashing into the sea west of Japan, according to flight data provided by the South Korean and Japanese governments. At a Group of 7 conference in Brussels, Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida criticized the North Korean launch, emphasized the need of diplomacy, and pledged to work together to hold Pyongyang accountable, according to a White House official. This launch is a flagrant violation of numerous United Nations Security Council resolutions, raising unnecessary tensions and risking destabilizing the security situation in the region, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said earlier. Since 2017, North Korea has put its ICBM and nuclear tests on hiatus, but maintains that the weapons are required for self-defense. Pyongyang has argued that U.S. overtures are insincere as long as Washington and its allies pursue hostile measures, like as sanctions and military drills, amid stalled disarmament discussions that Biden has failed to restart. The launch of a missile by North Korea happened while the world's attention was focused on the Ukraine issue, and it served as a stark message that its leader, Kim Jong-un, will not be ignored. Outgoing South Korean President Moon Jae-in, who made addressing North Korea a priority throughout his presidency, denounced the launch as a breach of Chairman Kim Jong-un's promise to the world community of a moratorium on ICBM launches. Moon is set to step down in May. The latest missile test, according to Kishida, was an unacceptable act of violence. In a phone conversation, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and South Korean Foreign Minister Chung Eui-yong called for a robust response and agreed that new UN Security Council actions were necessary, according to South Korea's foreign ministry. The United States, the United Kingdom, France, Ireland, Albania, and Norway have requested a public meeting of the Security Council on Friday to discuss North Korea's launch. According to his spokesman, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres asked Pyongyang to stop from adopting any more counterproductive acts. Analysts think it will be significantly more difficult for Washington to secure a robust international response to North Korea's new ICBM launch than it was for the previous one. World powers that may impose further UN penalties on Pyongyang, as they did after the most recent ICBM launches, are at odds over Ukraine and appear unlikely to reach an agreement. NL-5N2VR4T3, the launch on Thursday would be at least the 11th missile test by North Korea this year, an unparalleled rate. The launch looked to be a new type of ICBM, according to Japanese authorities, which flew for 71 minutes at an altitude of around 6,000 kilometers, 3,728 miles, and a range of 1,100 kilometers, 684 miles, from its launch point. It landed at 3:44 p.m. 0644 GMT, in Japan's exclusive economic zone EEZ, 170 kilometers, 106 miles, west of the northern prefecture of Aomori. The missile's maximum height is 6,200 kilometers, and its range is 1,080 kilometers, according to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff. North Korea's last ICBM test was in 2017, when it launched a HWASONG-15 missile that flew for 53 minutes to an altitude of 4,475 kilometers and a range of 950 kilometers. The newest missile was launched from near Sunan, Pyongyang's international airport, according to South Korea's JCS. According to the South Korean military, North Korea launched a suspected missile from the airfield on March 16, which looked to burst shortly after liftoff. North Korea had been prepared to test fire its largest ICBM yet, the Hwasong-17, according to U.S. and South Korean authorities. Two recent tests involving the HWASONG-17 system, according to U.S. officials, did not exhibit complete ICBM range or capability. Pyongyang claimed to be testing components for a reconnaissance satellite system at the time. According to Yonhap news agency, South Korean officials were also investigating if North Korea launched its previously tested HWASONG-15 missile on Thursday, possibly with rocket thrusters and warhead weight change to extend flight time. Kim declared a moratorium on testing ICBMs and nuclear weapons in 2018 amid a flurry of diplomacy, but later hinted that the North could resume such testing despite stalled denuclearization talks. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, who held historic summits with Kim in 2018 and 2019, but never achieved a solid commitment to limit the North's nuclear and missile arsenals, hailed the moratorium as a success. North Korea's only known nuclear test facility, which was halted in 2018, has also seen new building. The threat of nuclear tests, increased joint military drills between the US and South Korea, and the election of a conservative South Korean President Moon, all conditions are present for a tit-for-tat chain reaction of escalatory steps, according to Chad O'Carroll, CEO of the Korea Risk Group, which monitors North Korea.